It's Nolan. Anybody that's been tuned into my channel for the past few days, y'all will see and understand the hip hop game is rapidly changing. This really all the chatter right now, right? Folks are switching up on Drake. They not feeling a new album like that. We got Wallow penning his letter to the rap game, letting people know that the quality of music needs to increase. We got Juicy J out here saying that rap sales are down 40% in the market for 2023. There's a lot of people that are giving mixed reviews about that information. Some people are disagreeing. Some people don't understand where those metrics are coming from. A lot of people are in fucking denial. Right? That's a huge contributor to the situation as well. People that just don't want to hear it, don't want to acknowledge that the genre is slipping away. That doesn't mean that it's about to go away. It doesn't mean that it's about to end. It doesn't mean that people no longer want hip hop music. I don't want anybody to have that knee-jerk reaction. It just means inevitably a change has to happen. The distinction between the older values in hip hop and the younger generation, that divide is becoming too big to be ignored. People that have been here since, just think about it. Back when the 90s and 2000s came, our parents were the first generation that was kind of like influenced through hip hop. So when they saw the industry changing, when they saw that the gangster shit was getting out of control, when they saw, okay, I don't like where this shit is going, they moved on to other things. They went into jazz, they went into R&B and just left and stayed there. Now, we're the second generation of hip hop. I'm talking about my people that are 30 and up, such as myself. We've seen the late 80s, early 90s, 2000s. We've seen every era up to this point. So we're educated on hip hop because it's really all we've ever known. Of course, we've been exposed to other genres of music. We love and appreciate those genres of music, but hip hop is especially ours because it grew up with us. We were there to be witnesses to it. We helped shape it. You know what I'm saying? The experiences that we had out in the world are what contributed to what hip hop became. Now we've got the new generation of people who've only known gangster shit, gang culture more specifically, because it's not just about being a gangster. That used to mean something different. Nowadays, it's about putting gang culture in the music. You can't even be a rapper really these days coming out of certain cities without being affiliated with these neighborhoods or being affiliated with these people down the block, right? You got to put on for your city. You got to put on for your little area in order to even be known as a rapper. This is causing people to have issues with people just a block away from you, right? All of that shit is permeating into the music, and now it's coming out on a grander scheme to where it's coming out of these areas, and the people that grew up with this shit are like, what y'all doing? Why y'all in a rush to die? Why y'all want to kill each other? You know what I'm saying? We're baffled. The younger generation, this is all that they've ever known, so they don't know any different. They're going back and sampling our shit just to create even more gang culture music. But what's happening is the artistry is disappearing. Over the course of the last 10 years, the big conversation has been artists lip syncing, playing their tracks on stage, backing vocals. There's so many arguments that happen about that. We're watching award shows where artists aren't even using their real voice on stage. We didn't used to see that. Lip syncing didn't used to be such a big thing. Only certain artists would do that in order to conserve their voice, like Mariah Carey and different folks. You know what I'm saying? They would have a track playing because hitting all these notes, you might hit your imperfection, your voice crack on national TV. Ain't nobody trying to see that. There was precautions being taken. Now everybody across the board is performing with their track, you know what I mean, with the vocals in it. So now we got Offset coming out. He did an interview with Hot 97 and he says the game is changing. He's leaning into his dance experience. He's leaning into having fun, crafting a show, because he says people may not notice it, but rappers are not getting booked as much, right? When you look at the festival lineups, they're starting to put other people on the show, more R&B artists, more experimental artists. They're not going straight for the hip hop crowd. How many artists have you guys seen within the last 10 years and they pop off on the internet, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it may be? You see the headline of them about to perform at a big show and the tagline is, all right guys, I'm excited. This is my first show ever. The fuck you mean it's your first show ever, bruh? Ain't you an artist? You ain't been in the studio crafting your sound for years. You haven't been through the underground ranks in your city. You never performed at an open mic. You never had to rehearse for your own shit coming up. You just thrust it on stage after your deal. This is what the industry has become, and this is not new territory. This is not new information. I'm not breaking anything here. I'm just pointing out the shit that we've grown accustomed to accepting. There should never be an industry where people are being signed, being put out in the marketplace, being marketed, millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars being spent on them being whoever they are, and they can't even get on stage and sing or rap their song without help. It's a difference when you have a hype man, because you might have a hype man is gonna fill in words when you run out of breath. You know what I'm saying? In between songs, they're gonna get the crowd hype. They're gonna dance along, create a vibe. They should be hand in hand with you, but you as the artist should be running the show. How many times have y'all seen in the last 10 years, there's artists that go on stage and their DJ is the hype man, and their DJ is saying the songs better than they ass. I'm sure you've seen it, because I have. So when Offset says the folks don't want to see an artist just walking back and forth on stage, it's not so much that they don't want to see an artist going back and forth on stage. They want to see people who actually give a fuck. Why would I pay my hard-earned money to see somebody come out here and play with it? This is what you're getting paid to do. This is your craft, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and let Offset say what he had to say. I want this to come from an artist that y'all love, respect, and have been watching for years. You know what I mean? I could say this stuff all day. People not gonna listen because they're gonna be like, who the fuck is this nigga? Who's Jay Nolan? All right, cool. Let's lean into it.
Yeah, it's just a show. You gotta put on a show. Cause people get tired of you. It's too many new guys coming, bro.
Right. What do you give?
You gotta level up.
You gotta level up and take it there to that. Take it there and like really entertain these people. I don't know if my fellow brothers is peeping the game. Like they cutting us from shows slowly. Like festivals. If you look at festival lineups, it'd be like 3, 4 rappers, and it'd be like it back in the back.
5 years ago, 7 years ago, it became all rap for a while.
They ain't trying to see me walk back and forth on the stage, bro. It's not a show.
Well, what I be telling people, and I say it again, these festivals, a lot of these never even cared about rap like that anyway.
Anyway, you have to give these people a show. So it's like, oh shit. Because they don't think but we do it ourselves. Let's go get 600,000 show and then have a screen behind them and be walking back and forth. Just because you got the records doesn't mean you got the show. And see, my thing is with this journey, my new chapter, I want to become a big ticket seller because I see how the game go. If you can sell tickets, you straight forever in this shit. Because I don't want to name drop some people, but it's like I done seen an artist that's supposed to do a certain number on their album, don't do it, but then the next 3 days they doing the $60,000 show. I mean 60 people, 1,000 people
selling tickets.
Tour. Look at
Whole thing about putting together a show, man. Like, again, if you've been active in this space, if you've been going to concerts, if you've been going to festivals, if you've been watching televised shows on TV, you can see who knows how to perform and who doesn't. Another vital element to having a show is actually interacting with the crowd, knowing how to pace yourself, knowing how to speak to people to get them amped up. You don't have to just jump around. You don't have to just walk back and forth on stage. A lot of people don't have the storytelling element. They don't come out and talk to the people, right? Where's the charisma, right? I'm gonna tell y'all, when I go out on stage, man, I introduce myself, and through that time period, whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm telling people about me. I'm getting them into my zone, right? Whether it's the first time performing for this group of people where I had to really introduce myself, tell them where I'm from, my experiences. If it's people that kind of know me a little bit, I'm gonna talk about my week leading up to the show. Man, it's been a crazy ass week. This happened. And taking them on a journey of becoming familiar with who Jay Nolan is, right? Because it's like, okay, I know the song, but what's the story behind the song? Tell them about that. Tell them the influence about writing the record, right? The adversity putting the record together. Man, I wanted to do this. The producer ran off with the beat. I had to replace the beat. Let people know who you are, your experience. Music has become so aggregated. It's become so algorithm heavy that the storytelling element is completely gone. This is why a lot of artists struggle on social media, because you don't have an angle, you don't have a story, you don't have a narrative, you don't have anything to tell nobody about yourself. All you can say is, I'm a rapper. All right, Mr. Rapper, where you from? What made you want to rap? Why do you care about this? Right? What story are you trying to tell? What's the concept behind you? Right? Who were you before you started rapping? What led you into this profession? I won't say nobody, but a lot of people are struggling with that, right? Because they're not confident in telling their story. They feel like if I get on a camera or I tell some people about these mundane things, who's gonna care? Everybody cares. The same mundane things that you would talk about to introduce yourself to people. People are making movies about this shit. And they're basically showing your life on screen, but you're afraid to talk about your version. All of it plays into the show. It plays into the narrative building. It plays into character building. Whether or not people want to see you for the long term. Do they just like you today because you got a hot song? Because if that's the case, you won't be here tomorrow. Or do you want to have a series, an ongoing sequence of having hot records, moments? You know what I'm saying? Eras. Why do you think certain artists, when they put out albums, they completely change their wardrobe for that album? And every time you see them, it's within a certain theme. You got to keep people interested. It's not just about performing on stage. That's not the only reason why this shit is suffering. It's the fact that there's nothing to be desired. Song association is everything. Everybody thinks if I just get the hot record, my life's going to change. No. Your experience for a few weeks might change. If you get signed, things might change. But if you ain't got nothing else to follow, you're going to be right back in the same neighborhood you came from. You're going to have the same amount of money you came from, just acquiring more debt. You're going to be that guy that people say, damn, what happened to him? And as you can see, Offset is trying to prepare himself for the legacy part of his career. Ticket sales, being able to draw people after the hotness is gone. All right, we didn't do so great on the record sales, but we still gonna sell out this show because I know I could put on a motherfucking show. People are still in tune with my story. People are still in tune with me as a person because I've kept y'all hooked in all this time. Y'all better start taking some motherfucking notes, man. Go to pengameelite.com. If you need some help, visit pengameelite.com. I got a book on there that tells you all the different steps on how to build a career in this shit, man. Y'all not gonna believe me today, but I always say it'll be there when you need it. www.pengameelite.com. Check it out. If you're an artist and you want to get a consultation with me, man, I only charge $50 for a consultation, man. You get an hour with me. We could go over your whole shit. I listen to your music if that's what you want me to do. I could view your whole album rollout that you got, tell you what I think of it, tell you where you may be able to improve. You know what I'm saying? You got questions about distribution. You got questions about acquiring assets for your album, artwork, all these different things, man. I can help you get your album done for cheap. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta fuck with your boy. You don't believe me? Cool. Visit pengameelite.com. Check out my history, man. I tell y'all all the time. I got songs in Netflix, Hulu, NBA 2K. I done performed with Hot 97. I done did stuff with Patreon where they film me in the studio. I just performed with Tiny Desk when they came to Atlanta on their tour earlier this year. I done did a lot of shit, man. Y'all might want to fuck with your boy. I'm about to start teaching motherfuckers how to perform too. That might be my next venture. But y'all let me know if that's something you're looking for. Anyway, I'm going to catch y'all later. Much love and respect. Y'all be safe out there. Hey, man, don't play with it. If you are in this music thing, take it serious because your life is going to depend on it. Especially if you ever get to a point where you can go full time with it. You're going to have to continue to elevate. There's never a moment where you're too comfortable to grow. All right? Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble. New day, let's get it. Big chain, let's get it. More fame, let's get it. No shame, let's get it. New day, let's get it.